Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Foreign Policy Chief Partnerships Officer, Diana Marrero.
Okay, thank you very much. So welcome. Thank you for being here. For those of you in the room, thank you so much for being here, for the enthusiasm you're bringing into the room. The energy really is infectious. And for those of you online joining us, we really appreciate your time and for making sure that the conversations really are heard far and wide around the world. So, we've all seen the headlines. We know the statistics. I don't need to repeat them. The one that gets me every single time, though, as a mother of a 13-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl, is this. And that is that at the rate of progress toward gender parity, no one alive today will live in a world where men and women, girls and boys have the same rights or the same opportunities. And so what we want to do today is to go beyond the statistics, go beyond the problems, focus on what we can do here, how we can work with each other, connect with each other, to really think about advancing the rights of women and ensuring that we all live in a world that has gender parity. It's been 30 years since the historic Beijing Declaration on Women's Rights. It's been 25 years since the UN Security landmark resolution on the links between security and gender equity, and that's very clear. And we're now 5 years away from the goal that we've all set to reach the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And so realizing gender equity SDG 5 seems like it's light years away. But it's not the time right now to throw our hands up. It's time to dig in and to, again, work together to figure out how we can make that a reality in our lifetime. And so we want to spark new ideas. We want to foster new connections. So again, thank you for joining us. We'll continue these conversations in our award-winning podcast called The Hidden Economics of Remarkable Women. We'll be taping a couple of new episodes today on stage as well. So thank you for listening. If you aren't already a fan, you should tune in. And before we kick off, I do want to go over a few housekeeping notes. If you're in the room, please do take a moment to silence your phones. You don't want to be that person with the annoying ringtone. It'll be really embarrassing. And we do want to hear from the audience about your key takeaways. Please do share on social media your insights, what you're hearing, what you're sharing. Please tag FP. There's a QR code on your seats for those of you in the room where you can look at the agenda, look at the speakers and bios. There's also a discount code to subscribe to Foreign Policy. If you're not already a subscriber, please do so. It really helps us not only produce the incredible journalism that we do every day, but also to produce these events. And we do have a couple reporters here on the ground doing a special daily pop-up of Situation Report. So sign up, that's completely free to join. And finally, I'd want to thank our partners, our strategic partner Bayer, our partners CARE, Core Africa, the Guttmacher Institute, the Made Possible by Family Planning Campaign, the Mohammed bin Zayed Foundation for Humanity, the Qatar Fund for Development, Tony Roma's, and the Vodafone Americas Foundation. And of course, we're grateful to all of you for joining us. So to kick us off, we're going to explore how diplomacy and the work of women diplomats are portrayed in Hollywood. I'm very excited for this conversation. It's with the creator and showrunner of the Netflix show, The Diplomats. And we'll be taking a special sneak peek into the next season, which comes out next month. So with that, please turn your attention to the screens and you're in for a treat.
Hal, listen to me. Say as little as possible. Do you hear me?
Okay. What happened?
President Rayburn died 4 minutes ago.
Who was he talking to?
My husband, President Rayburn, was on the phone with Hal.
What did you think you were doing?
I thought I was warning the commander-in-chief he had a rogue deputy, which he did.
A terribly flawed woman is now the president, and only we know just how flawed.
Al Weiler, ambassador's wife.
Todd Penn, first lady.
This is an opportunity. You will be in the White House, watching what she does all the time.
I'm not walking around in the middle of a constitutional crisis with a resume stapled to my forehead.
Our Prime Minister is concealing explosive information on your behalf. He will extract not 1, but 10 pounds of flesh.
We have an unspecified threat.
Are you?
Fired? Probably.
The president is about to do something that is apocalyptically dumb.
There is a chance it's coming out. If it does, it's catastrophic.
When all the facts are on the table, I don't look so bad.
Respectfully,
You look very bad.
The Pentagon is drawing up battle plans for a war with Great Britain.
How many times do you have to watch her shove you in front of a moving train?
I am doing everything I can, but there is a limit.
I expected more from you.
You should get a lawyer.
So, are we having fun?
Please welcome to the stage award-winning writer, producer, and creator of The Diplomat, Deborah Kahn, for a conversation with FP's publisher and CEO, Andrew Solinger.
Now you get the full applause. That
thank you.
That was quite a buzzy trailer. I am so stoked for this season. And generally, you're in a room of diplomatic geeks right now. So we are kind of like your core demographic, I would say, in this one.
I find it so... Is this on?
Yep.
I find it so disturbing that I'm the one speaking. I really want to hear from all of you, and this is something has gone awry.
So I'm glad we could put you on the spot this way. And I was told by Deborah this is her first UNGA. She could say she's speaking at, we're UNGA. This is speaking at UNGA. So great to have you involved here. So first of all, thanks for putting geopolitical chaos on the big golden screen and statecraft and diplomacy and making it so incredibly binge-worthy.
You're
all think it's
welcome.
binge-worthy, so we're glad that other people now think it's binge-worthy as well. So I've got so many questions for you in so little time, so we'll get right into it.
Go.
You have got a really storied career, and as Diana mentioned, you can, if you don't know Deborah, you can look up her bio on the QR code and your cards on our site. You were a writer for, way back to The West Wing, kind of where it all began, Homeland, many other programs as well, and now you're focusing on diplomacy. My question is, in addition to you being obviously brilliant, why is this such great theater, this type of content? It really resonates and people love it. And is it something about this moment? And also, if you could, as part of that, why statecraft now?
So it's easier to write drama when you're talking about the most important things in the world. They are sometimes hard to dramatize because in the world they move slowly, except when they don't, which is worse. But I think on The West Wing, Aaron Sorkin sort of cracked the code of how do you talk about this stuff in a way that is entertaining enough to keep it on television, but interesting enough to make it not have all of you throw your shoes at the television, which is what I'm trying to avoid.
So actually, we at FP, of course, jumped right in when your first season and episode came out a few years back, and one of the State Department staffers that we quoted, who will remain anonymous, basically said, if this were about real life, looking for the quote, if this were about real life diplomacy, it'd be a really boring show, as it happens in real life. So you have to put that on speed, but you do it so well, and that's one of the things I wanted to ask you today. Real-life geopolitics in Ukraine, in the Mideast, relations with our allies, trade, move so quickly. And you're about to release season 3. and you plot and write and produce this months, years in advance. How do you manage to work with that flow and speed of geopolitical news and make the show still relevant to the audience? And I might add and refresh everyone, if you saw season 2, and I don't want to give away any spoilers of plot lines, it was very reflective of what was happening at the top of the Democratic ticket last year, as it was happening, as you released it. How do you do that?
My cast thinks I'm a psychic witch, and I'm going to support that theory. However, so when I was working on Homeland, we always had experts come in to talk to us from the CIA, from the Hill, from journalists, military, all sorts of great people came in. And one day this woman walks in, and she looks like a very sort of kindly librarian. She looked a lot like my Aunt Ruthie. And her name was Beth Jones, and she was an ambassador. And she started talking, and she was talking about her first day on the job when she was young, and she had just started and she didn't have any power, and she went on a trip with the ambassador, and, you know, he got on a plane and she had to take the car back, but that was better because his plane exploded, and then she had his job. So, like, that's just a regular conversation with Beth Jones. And I still have I should like frame this little piece of notebook paper that says she is a show. She is the show. She was the show that I was looking for, where after I left the West Wing, I wanted to talk about the world in the way that the West Wing had talked about this country. And the reason for that was mostly because I am the child of immigrants. My mother was a child survivor of the Holocaust. She was a hidden child. And she remembered American soldiers coming in with chewing gum and candy, like this, you know, the